A lot has been happening in Canada lately, with so many new policies from the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Mark Miller, the Minister of Immigration. All these are tilting towards cutting down the number of immigrants trooping into the country. Hey everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Annabelle Ajiwe. Okay, so in case you're seeing this face for the first time, please do well to like this channel, subscribe. Okay. The year 2024 began with a cap on international students with a lot of unfavorable conditions, which cut down the number of immigrants coming into the country via that route. As September began, news have it of how international students are adjusting their lifestyle just to suit or fit into this new policy, because with this 24 hours cap on work hours, you'll find out that most international students will find it difficult to meet up with the cost of living, working for just 24 hours and still meeting up with expenses because of the limited time to work. Okay, so let's look at this news and look at several reports from international students and how they plan working on the new policy to meet up with their needs.
Or before. A new federal rule limits them to working 24 hours per week beginning this month. And some advocates say the change is necessary, while others are calling it unfair. Brittany Billette has more.
Working at 40 hours gave me more financial stability, and I don't have that anymore.
This Toronto international student says she's already cut down on expenses to prepare for the new rules around work hours for students.
So I moved in with like two of my friends to an apartment which is cheaper, so that I can save up on some rent and also like cut down on groceries and eating out.
During the pandemic, the federal government temporarily waived the 20-hour cap on work hours to ease labor shortages. Students jumped at the opportunity to make a bit more money. But with things inching back to normal, in April, the feds announced that it would be reintroducing a work hours cap for international students. Now, they can only work 24 hours per week.
We need to support international students and make sure they're set up for success. And that they're here properly studying.
This economic professor agrees. He thinks students need a bit more help focusing on their studies.
What student is not going to choose money over studying? And so it's just going to make the education at post-secondary level a little weaker. It devalues the education a little bit.
Some students who are used to working under the previous cap are welcoming the move as well.
People say that they can't manage, they all want to work, not focus on the studies. That's not fair. They should focus on their studies too.
According to the federal government, every year international students contribute tens of billions of dollars into the Canadian economy, but advocates say the new rules and restrictions are both unwelcoming and unfair.
Not every student can afford to go to school without that extra income. In any structure, you have to have an equity framework.
This return to a work hours cap is being introduced on top of new requirements mandated by the federal government, like doubling how much money students need to have before coming here and a new cap on how many applications the government would accept.
I feel like it's pretty volatile here, and you can't really like trust what's gonna happen next because the rules keep changing every month.
And for those like Fatah Fakir, the new work hour cap will just make life as a student in an era of inflation that much harder.
I feel like if I have that financial support, then I'm able to study better because I'm not stressing about how I'm going to pay the rent or how am I going to...
So that is to say that 24 hours are allotted to them in a week. So however they will schedule that 24 hours in a week, maybe 4 hours in a week or 5 hours in a week, it is left for them. But within the week, during school session, students are just to work for 24 hours a week, whereas when they're on holiday, they can now take a full time to work for their long, maybe summer break or either of the holidays. For further verification in this policy by the Minister of Immigration, Mark Miller, says that this policy is only effective during school session. That is, when the school is in session, students are only allowed to work for 24 hours to give them sufficient and enough time for them to study and get the best of their studies. Now, during the holiday, when they are on break, they have a full time to work. So the 24 hours cap is just during the school section so that they can study, make research, and enough time so that they won't do more of working and forget the purpose for which they are here, which is to study. So that is balancing the equation. When they're on holiday, they have a full time to study. So please do well, leave a comment on this, leave your own comments on your own opinion about this, and how you're trying to cope with this current trend. Okay, so thank you.